tall tale, sending you to hell. Disciples got the truth twisted like pretzels. What you know about an Ishmaelite? Jealous of an Israelite. Psalms 83 and 6 gon' see the light. It's revolution time. Get your scriptures. I'm fired, aimed, and ready for the kill. Daniel locked it sealed. Breathe the truth, be healed. Gone, Yehuda. Let me see you feel. I am Israel, descendants of Abraham and Sarah, Isaac and Rebecca, the stock of Jacob. No weapon formed against me. And any tongue that shall rise against me in judgment, I shall condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of YAH, who is called I am, because I am the daughter of Carol and David, the son of James, the son of Lola May, the daughter of Alina, who was a slave that was granted freedom physically. I guess it's up to me to bring it spiritually. Who am I? A bright light. Our spirit should cause mortal men to walk upright through Solomon's sight. Out of 1,000 he found none. I live my life so maybe the children could find one. It's revolution time. Get your scriptures. I'm fired, aimed, and ready for the kill. Daniel locked it sealed. Breathe the truth, be healed. Gone, Yehuda. Let me see you feel. I am Israel, descendants of Abraham and Sarah, Isaac and Rebecca, the stock of Jacob. No weapon formed against me. And any tongue that shall rise against me in judgment, I shall condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of YAH, who is called I am, because I am.
The one who the heathens fear, who Yah say he bringing near, who have ears but can't hear, Isaac can't see. Yah's chosen people is me, the one who rejects the Trinity. Worship he who reigns for eternity. Israel lasts until infinity. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob his descendancy. The one who sent the captivity for 4 centuries, explained in Deuteronomy. Yeah, the victims of a stolen legacy. David is who the hell will be. You never know, it might be me. In these last days we will all see who the king is and who I
am Israel, descendants of Abraham and Sarah, Isaac and Rebecca, the stock of Jacob. No weapon formed against me. And any tongue that shall rise against me in judgment, I shall condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of YAH, who is called I am, because I am.
Praise the Almighty Yah. Hallelujah. I want to thank the Almighty Yah for this day and all days. I hope everyone had a delightful Shabbat. Yesterday, I know we did. And I pray that Yah will forgive us of our transgressions, any sins that we may have committed on the Shabbat, right? Or any day. I pray that Yah will forgive us for our sins and carry us forward as we continue to seek Yah and study the Most High's word to gain understanding and knowledge and wisdom so that we can apply these laws to our life, because that's the most important thing. Praise the Almighty Yah. I just want to thank the Most High Yah for carrying me through on this last day of my fast. And anyone else who's fasting, I pray the Most High will carry them through, continue to carry them. I pray for all of my poor and needy, all of those who are in need, all of the widows and the fatherless, that the Most High will continue to look after them, because those are the Most High's people. The Most High servants are the Most High's people. And I pray the Most High will continue to shield and protect his servants and guide his servants along with their families. And yeah, I just pray the Most High forgive us, most importantly, because we really need forgiveness. Whew. Praise the Almighty YAH. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O YAH, my strength and my redeemer. Hallelujah. So welcome back to another live. Almost winded. My goodness. Trying to keep together, y'all. You see the title of the video? What should be our focus and our righteous leaders of old? Praise Yah. I want to start in Genesis 17 because, it's all about the Most High's laws. That should be our focus. Now, there's nothing wrong with us, focusing on things that help us, to pay our bills, get by in life and all of those things, going to work and all of that. Because we are humans on this earth and we have other things to focus on, right? But when it really comes down to it, because again, we are looking forward to being out in the wilderness, right? We're looking forward to that. So we're looking forward to making it out there in the wilderness. So what should be our main focus? Our main focus should be Yah's laws, right? So let's go to Genesis 17. In Genesis 17, I'm going to start at verse 1. It reads, "And when Abram was 90 years old and 9, Yah appeared to Abram and said unto him, I am the Almighty Elohim. Walk before me and be thou perfect. And I will make my covenant between me and thee, and will multiply thee exceedingly. And Abram fell on his face, and Elohim talked with him, saying, As for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations. Neither shall thy name any more be called Abram, but thy name shall be called Abraham. For a father of many nations have I made thee, and I will make thee exceeding fruitful, and I will make nations of thee, and kings shall come out of thee. And I will establish my covenant between me and thee, and thy seed after thee, and their generations, for an everlasting covenant, to be an Elohim unto thee, and to thy seed after thee. And I will give unto thee, and to thy seed after thee, the land wherein thou art a stranger, all the land of Canaan, for an everlasting possession, and I will be their Elohim. And Elohim said unto Abraham, Thou shalt keep my covenant therefore, thou and thy seed after thee, in their generations. This is my covenant, which ye shall keep between me and you, and thy seed after thee. Every man child among you shall be circumcised, and you shall be circumcised. You shall circumcise the flesh of your foreskin, and it shall be a token of the covenant betwixt me and you. And he that is 8 days old shall be circumcised among you, every man child in your generations, he that is born in the house, or bought with money of any stranger, which is not of thy seed. He that is born in thy house, and he that is bought with thy money, must needs be circumcised. And my covenant shall be in your flesh for an everlasting covenant. And the uncircumcised man, child, whose flesh of his foreskin is not circumcised, that soul shall be cut off from his people. He has broken my covenant. Praise YAH. Sorry about that, y'all. So, praise YAH, we see in Genesis chapter 17, verses 17 or verses 1 through 14, that the Most High, YAH, our Creator, the God of our forefathers Abraham, Isaac, and Yaakov, or Yaakov, he's making it very clear that this particular covenant, which is a law, this is a law that we should be focused on. One of the laws we should be focused on is very important because this covenant was a covenant made in the flesh. And the Most High he's being very specific, being very particular, because the circumcision takes place in the genitalia, the genital area, right? The genitals. And that is a reproductive organ, right? So the Most High is making it very clear that this is a covenant regarding the flesh and for the flesh of all the seed of the men of our nation. The seed that comes through you. This is a covenant that goes on generation to generation to generation. It's very symbolic, right? It's not just something, oh yeah, well you got to be circumcised. No, this is a very specific law and a very specific covenant the Most High made with our forefather Abraham. After he renamed our forefather, he entered into a contract agreement. He made a promise with the Most High through his flesh regarding the seed that comes through him. Right? And so it's very important. Very important. And not something that we should take lightly. As with all the Most High's laws, none of the Most High's laws should we take lightly. You see, the Most High made a covenant with Abraham. But let's go back to Genesis chapter 9 for a moment. Let's go back to Genesis chapter 9. And let's talk about how the Most High made a covenant with our forefather Noah first. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about this covenant, right? In Genesis 9, chapter 1, it says, And Elohim blessed Noah and his sons, and said unto them, Be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth. When the Most High said these things, the Most High wasn't saying it so that we would just be out here just having baby after baby after baby and not taking care of them and not raising them up in the way that they should go. The Most High made this law, told them to do this, right? It was a commandment directly from the Most High to our forefathers because the Most High wanted righteousness to fill the earth. Because through our seed comes righteousness, or it's supposed to, it's supposed to be righteous. The things we teach our seed should be righteous. The Most High doesn't have us doing things in vain. I mean, come on now. We know the Most High. We know how the Most High feels about vanity and vain things. The Most High always has a purpose behind what we do and why we should do it. The Most High tells us to replenish the earth. That's to take care of the earth. That's to dwell in righteousness. And to practice righteous ways. That's the purpose of being fruitful and multiplying. We want good seed. We want good fruit. We don't want rotten fruit. It'll spoil the whole bunch. We want righteous seed. That's very important. Especially when it comes to our people coming back together as one, as a nation. We want to do that in righteousness. The Most High wants us to do this in righteousness. Obviously, and the Most High makes it very clear. The Most High reiterates the same message throughout his laws, throughout his word. The Most High makes it very plain that the Most High desires righteousness from man, from us. As we saw how the Most High regretted making man in Genesis 6. Why? Because man's heart was filled with evil, with wicked, all day. That's it. Just like now. Our hearts filled with evil and wickedness. So it's very important. Righteousness, practicing righteousness, is obviously something that's very important to the Most High in his program. Verse 2. And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth, and upon every fowl of the air, upon all that moveth upon the earth, and upon all the fishes of the sea. Into your hand are they delivered. So you see, these things are blessings from the Most High. This is a blessing. The dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth, and upon every fowl of the air, upon all that moveth upon the earth, and upon all the fishes of the sea. Into your hand are they delivered. That's a huge responsibility. To just be born into this world and not understanding your purpose, but knowing that you are man and you rule over the earth. That's a huge responsibility. Naturally, Man is the most intelligent being dwelling on the earth. Dwelling on the earth. Naturally. Because that is your purpose. Naturally. And the only way to fix the earth, the only way to live in peace and harmony, to cohabitate with others, is to live naturally. In righteousness. The way the Most High intended for us to live. Right? We can't go against the Most High's program. We have to do exactly what it is the Most High tells us to do. Exactly what it is the Most High commands us to do. Verse 3. Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you. Even as the green herb have I given you all things. All of these plants, these vegetables and fruits, all these natural things that are good for our soul, good for our body. These are the things that we should be consuming. You understand? These are things that we should consume. And if you don't just consume the vegetation, because I understand not everybody's a vegetarian or vegan, right? Then at least go by Leviticus 11. At least go by the Most High's righteous laws when it comes to our diets and meat, right? At least go by the Most High's righteous diet. Because when you don't, it throws everything off course, whether you realize it or not. Pumping too much oil out of the ground. There's consequences for that, whether you want to accept it or not. So many things that we do to this earth, the pollution in the air, dumping things in the ocean, all of these things have consequences. And so do the laws, the Most High's dietary laws, when we eat certain things in the food cycle. Right? When we eat certain meats that we're not supposed to eat. When people eat certain things, it throws off the balance in the Most High's earth. It's for a reason. The Most High told you not to eat these things. It's not just unclean, but it throws things off. The populations of certain things should be left to nature, not man. We shouldn't be consuming scavengers. We have no business consuming things the Most High told us not to eat. So be very mindful. It's important that we be very mindful when it comes to the Most High's dietary laws. Verse 4, but flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, shall you not eat. And surely your blood of your lives will I require. At the hand of every beast will I require it. And at the hand of man, at the hand of every man's brother will I require the life of man. So man is very important to the Most High. Do you see how important you are as a creation? Do you see how important we are? Man is very important. Why? Verse 6, whoso sheddeth man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed. For in the image of Elohim made he man. So see, the Most High gives the first order, thou shalt not kill, to our forefather Noah and his family. Thou shalt not murder. Why? Because man was made in the image of the Elohim. Man was made in the image of the Creator. Man was made in the image of YAH. Why would you want to take something off the earth, destroy something that was made in the image of something holy? Why? You see how this pure wickedness? That's evil. Murder is such an evil thing. It's so evil. And to not have regard for something so sacred, for something so righteous. Well, you're going to end up losing your own life when you plot on someone else. And that's how it goes. And that's how it's supposed to go. Because none of us should want to take the life of another. That shouldn't be our desire. We should not want to take the life of another. We should want to nurture and care for each other. And the things that you can't control that's out of your hands, you let the Most High take care of it. You remove yourself and you let the Most High take care of these things. But we shouldn't want to take these things into our own hands. Murder and all of these and abuse and all these things. Why would you want to damage the image of the Creator? Something is deeply wrong with you internally. Something's wrong with your heart to have a desire to do that. I'm guilty of it, so I can speak on it. I no longer have that desire, but I used to. Somebody crosses and you're like, oh man, somebody threatening, I got to take care of this. But no, it's not up to you anyways. You didn't give that person life. You didn't give them life. The Most High did. And they didn't give you life. The Most High did. So who are you to step into the place of the Most High and determine whether this person lives or dies? The Most High gave you a certain order and structure and laws in place to determine when someone dies. He gave you righteous laws to determine when someone should die. Not according to your feelings. Right? Or how someone treated us. Not according to that. Understand? I can understand how some people may have angry outbursts. Or just let rage take over them. I can relate. I can understand. But we can't live like that as a people. We can't treat each other like that as a people. And being the representatives of the Most High Yah, as Hebrew Israelites, we have to be extra delicate and careful with our own people. Right? Extra careful and delicate. Right? We have to treat our people like something fragile. We really do. Because that's how precious we are to the Most High. We are the apple of Yah's eye. Okay? So, the image of Elohim is very important. Going around thinking that you just want to shed the blood of the Most High's image that you did not give life to is something very dangerous. Okay? Verse 7, it's not something to take lightly. And be you fruitful and multiply, bring forth abundantly in the earth. and multiply therein. See, the Most High wants his image spread throughout the earth. That's how beautiful it is. That's the Most High's image. Don't think of it as your own. When you see a beautiful person, when you see someone who's handsome or beautiful, whatever, you think to yourself, wow, you know, the Most High is real, okay? The Most High, and I'm one to believe that because I can see the beauty in everybody. But I know that, you know, some people may be easier on the eyes than other. That's okay. Because the person that might not be as easy on the eyes might have a beautiful heart. Their heart might be more beautiful than the person who's physically attractive, which makes them even more beautiful. So the Most High made all of us beautiful. All of us. You understand? Unless you out here doing wicked. Now, if you out here doing wicked, you got something coming to you. You got something coming to you. Because you are not a part of what the Most High's program is supposed to be in the future. You're not for the Most High's kingdom. You're an enemy of the Most High Yah. You understand? You are one of the enemies of the Most High Yah. So no, I don't get jealous. You're not supposed to get jealous. I don't get jealous or any of these things because all of us who want to do right have something to offer, something righteous to offer to the Most High and his people and his kingdom. All of us that want to do right. You understand? Everybody. And just like the heathens have built up their empire with the hand of the Most High, just like they have their empire up and they have different positions for all of their people, as Israelites, we got to get in that mindset where, okay, you can offer that, you can offer this, we all got something different to offer. Everybody has something different to offer. And it's a beautiful thing because the Most High's kingdom is beautiful. You understand? It's beautiful. And everything in it. And it's the cleanliness. It's the righteousness. It's the holiness that's attractive. That's what's desirable. You understand? That's what's desirable. That's the image that the Most High wants us to represent. That righteousness, that holiness, right? So, in verse 7 or verse 8, it reads, "And Elohim spake unto Noah and to his sons with him, saying, And I, behold, I establish my covenant with you and with your seed after you." So the Most High has established a covenant with our forefather Noah and to his sons. So essentially, the Most High has established a covenant with all the nations. Do you understand? It's not the same covenant. Do you understand? It's not the same covenant that the Most High has established with Israel. He has a very specific covenant that he's established with Israel. But we're going to talk about how the Most High has established a covenant with Shem, Ham, and Japheth. You understand? All of the earth. The Most High has established a covenant already in the beginning with all of the earth. Why? Because all of us are the creation of Yah. All of us are the Most High's creation, praise Yah. All of us. There's no need in getting jealous. What is jealousy? but something that hinders your mobility? What is jealousy but something that stops you from sharing your talents and what you have to offer? Because everybody has something to offer when they want to do the right thing. Everybody has something good to offer. Because why would listen, would it even make sense that the Most High gave you life, gave you breath, and allowed you to be born on this beautiful earth, to be a witness to the Most High's great works for no reason, just to sit there and just be there? No, it doesn't make sense. The Most High has given all of us the ability to shine. All of us have the opportunity to shine. There's enough light to go around for everyone. Why? The Most High is the source of light. And do you think that the Most High's light source is limited? Or the Most High just say, oh, no, you're going to get some light, you're going to get some light, you're going to get some light, and then we just going to stop right there. Ain't nobody else getting no more light. Now, I'm talking about righteous people. People actually want to do the right thing now. I'm not talking about a world of wicked folks where the Most High is just going to discard the wicked. No, I'm talking about people who actually want to do the right thing. You think you're going to have a world in the Most High's kingdom where it's just, oh, you're going to get some light. Okay. We're not going to give this group over here any light. I know that they're following the laws. I know they're doing all of that, but they're not going to get no light shown on them. That's not how the Most High operates, because the Most High is just. So everybody flourishes. Everybody succeeds. Everybody gets some pie. As a matter of fact, everybody get a whole. You get your own pie. Okay? Because the Most High wants to see us thrive. That's why the Most High created us. To fear YAH, keep His commands, and to glorify YAH. All of us. That is our duty, first and foremost. So that's the most important thing that we should be focusing on. If fearing YAH and keeping these commandments is a part of our duty, this is the most important thing we should focus on. We shouldn't be focused on, with that woman over there, women shouldn't be doing this, men shouldn't be doing that, you know what I'm saying? And this and all about, all this stuff we focus on with each other, when really we should be focused on what are we supposed to be doing as individuals in this nation and as a nation. But what are we supposed to be doing? What are the laws that we should be focused on? What is it that the Most High focuses on? Let's take a look and see what our forefathers and our foreparents focused on. Because when I look at modern society, when I look at the ancients, our ancestors of old, man, it's like I'm looking at an alien world. Two different worlds. We do not focus on the same things that our ancient ancestors focus on. We get, all caught up in the wrong things. But let's continue. So the Most High, He made a covenant with the whole world, the earth, right? The Most High says in verse 10, and with every living creature that is with you, of the fowl, of the cattle and of every beast of the earth with you, from all that go out of the ark, to every beast of the earth, and I will establish my covenant with you. Even a beast, everything. Neither shall all flesh be cut off any more by the waters of a flood. Neither shall there any more be a flood to destroy the earth. And Elohim said, this is the token of the covenant which I make between me and you, and every living creature that is with you, for perpetual generations. I do set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be for a token of a covenant between me and the earth. And it shall come to pass, when I bring a cloud over the earth, that the bow shall be seen in the cloud. And I will remember my covenant, which is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh. And the waters shall no more become a flood to destroy all flesh. And the bow shall be in the cloud, and I will look upon it, that I may remember the everlasting covenant between Elohim and every living creature of all flesh that is upon the earth. And Elohim said unto Noah, this is the token of the covenant which I have established between me and all that is upon the earth. Praise Yah. So, the Most High made a covenant with all the earth in the beginning. Before he even made a covenant with our forefather Abraham, the Most High made a covenant with all the earth. So the Most High didn't leave anyone out at all. He let it be known that he's with us all. You understand? He's with us all because he made us all. If the Most High didn't put you here, you wouldn't be here. If the Most High didn't want you here, you wouldn't be here. Right? So we learn we're made in the Most High's image, which is why murder is so wicked. And that the Most High has established his first known covenant with all man and all the beasts and all the earth. So we're getting into what it is exactly the Most High desires from us. This is a part of the Most High's desire. This has nothing to do with man's desire and the things we like to fight about. All of this is an introduction to what Yah sees for man, what Yah envisions for us. And this is what we should be at the round table discussing. Right? Let's go to Genesis chapter 12. Let's go to Genesis chapter 12. In verse 1, it says, Now Yah had said unto Abram, this is before he renamed him in Genesis 17, Get thee out of thy country. I mean, this right here to me, this right here says a lot. Get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, unto a land that I will show you, and I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee, and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curseth thee. And in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. And this right here says to me that as a nation, we should try our hardest to remain humble. We should try our hardest to remain humble. Because this directly correlates with, let's go to Daniel chapter 4. This directly correlates with Daniel chapter 4. And it says that the Most High, through the Most High, all things are possible. All blessings come through the Most High. Let's go to Daniel chapter 4 and verse 17. In Daniel chapter 4, verse 17, it says, "This matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and give it to whomever he will, and setteth up over it the basest of men." What? Okay, let's go back to Genesis chapter 12. And let's read that again in Genesis chapter 12, if you didn't hold your page. In Genesis chapter 12, verse 1, it says, "Now YAH had said unto Abram, get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, unto a land that I will show you." So is this not an example of the Most High raising up the basest of men? Is this not an example of the Most High setting over the kingdom of men whosoever he will? And we as a nation have the nerve to be haughty and arrogant? Let's go to Deuteronomy 32. Let's go to Deuteronomy 32. Hold that. Let's go to Deuteronomy 32. And I'm going to start at verse 10 of Deuteronomy 32. When it reads, "He found him in a desert land, and in the waste howling wilderness. He led him about, he instructed him, he kept him as the apple of his eye. As an eagle stirreth up her nest, fluttereth over her young, spreadeth abroad her wings, taketh them, beareth them on her wings, so YAH alone did lead him, and there was no strange God with him." No idols. That's a very important thing that we have to, just keep that in your mind. That's very important. Mark that down. There was no strange idol with him. So you mean to tell me there was no Christ? There was no any type of religion, no Baal, even though he came from a household that worshipped idols. There was no strange idol with him. He was in the wilderness. And this goes for anybody the Most High decides that he wants to raise up. He will take them from wherever he chooses and raise them up, including our forefather Abraham. He took him from wherever he chose, and he raised up our forefather Abraham. He didn't have to do that. He could have chosen someone else, but he chose our forefather Abraham. Obviously, the Most High knows our hearts, but the Most High also tells us, like in Daniel chapter 4, verse 17, that the Most High still chooses whoever he wants to rule in the kingdom of men, wicked or not. The Most High chooses. So our arrogancy, we have to destroy. Our haughtiness, we have to discard. We have to get rid of it. These things that serve us they don't serve us at all. These things that are not beneficial to us as a people. Haughtiness, ego, arrogancy, we have to get rid of it. Don't let that cloud your vision and your judgment. Don't let that cloud your path. Don't let it fog up your path. Because the Most High can take your vision away. And you'll be groping like a blind man. Because of your feelings, because of your ego, because you can't get over something. We have to humble ourselves. The Most High took our forefather Abraham, which I'm sure our forefather Abraham was more righteous and holy than any of us. He had a closer relationship with the Most High than any of us can say right now, here on this earth, that we know of. You understand? So, there's no I'm right, you're wrong, I'm better than you, and let me tell you something. You might be right and the other person might be wrong, but let me tell you something. You can't change people. So if you're right, let that be right. If they're wrong and you tried to correct them and they don't take heed, that's when you just let it go and let the Most High take care of it. You let it go and we are not in the land. We are not in the wilderness right now. So who are you to take actions into your own hands? We are in the lands of our enemies. That's where we are. We are in the lands of our enemies. And so it's important that we try to save ourselves alive and the lives of our children as much as possible. Because who knows how much time we have? Who knows how much time we have? And you don't want to die in your arrogancy. So let it go. And move forward in the light of YAH. Because that's where the light is going to shine upon. The light is going to shine upon all of you who choose to walk in the light of YAH. And you can't hide that. But let's go to Joshua 24. Just to make the point even more clear. Let's go to Joshua 24. And I'm going to start reading at the second verse. And it reads, And Joshua said unto all the people, Thus saith Yah Elohim of Israel, Your fathers dwelt on the other side of the flood in old time, even Terah, the father of Abraham, and the father of Nachor. And they served what? Other gods. They what? They served other gods? You mean to tell me Abraham came from a family of idol worshipers? A lineage of idolatry? And the Most High chose him? We got to think about that while we point the finger at everybody else. Let's look at our history for a minute. The Most High chose Abraham out of a family of idolaters, idol worshipers. And the Most High saw fit for him to be in the position he was in. That's another example of the Most High's mercy as well. And Abraham was just a man, just like all of us. But see, the difference was Abraham obeyed the Creator. Abraham practiced the laws of the Creator. That's the difference. That's how you know this thing here is about choices. That's how you know this is a multiple choice test. We decide what to choose in our lives. The choices we make affect the outcomes in our lives. And Abraham chose to obey the Most High. When the Most High came to Abraham, what did Abraham do? He got up out of the land of idolaters and he followed the Creator. That's what he chose. And so this is what we have to keep in mind. This is what we have to consider. We have to understand. These are the ways we should be imitating. These are the ways of the righteous. And if we want to be called righteous and named holy, we have to uphold these laws and these statutes, these judgments, these tests, all of these things the Most High has, all these things that the Most High has given us as a people, as a nation. When the Most High established us, even before the Most High established us as a nation, because through our forefather Abraham, he had not established us physically as a nation yet. The Most High said, and so it is, and so it was. But at that time, it was just Abraham and YAH. And that's how we have to really think about things in our own person, like our personal relationship with the Most High. It's us and it's YAH. It's you and it's YAH. It's me and it's YAH. Don't let anybody else get in between that. Don't let anybody else anger you or disturb your spirit to where you find yourself acting a fool or breaking any laws of the Most High. We have to be serious in our journey, just like our forefather Abram was serious in his journey. And all of our righteous leaders of old were serious in their journeys with the Most High Yah. That's the difference that you'll see between them and us. We have grown too comfortable in our wickedness. Too comfortable. We shouldn't be this comfortable. We should always feel like there's more that we can do. There's more we can accomplish. We can always get better. We can always be better. Because we are not the best examples in our current state. Let's go to Genesis chapter 26. In Genesis chapter 26, yes, take note of the strange gods, because it always goes back to this when it comes to our nation. Genesis 26, and I'm going to start at verse 2. I'm going to start at verse 2. Genesis 26. So Yah made a covenant with Abraham in Genesis 17. In Genesis 26, verse 2, it reads, "And Yah appeared unto him and said, Go not down into Egypt. Dwell in the land which I shall tell you of. Sojourn in this land, and I will be with you. And I will bless thee, for unto you and unto your seed," again, we're talking about the generations, "I will give all these countries, and I will perform the oath which I swear unto Abraham your father." So the Most High is showing us when he established his covenant with our forefather Abraham, which Ishmael was not a part of, but he branched off into a great nation, a great blessed nation, because he comes through forefather Abraham. And those who bless Abraham will be blessed, and those who curse Abraham will be cursed. And his beautiful seed is a part of that. But our forefather Isaac was a part of that covenant, that continued lineage. Right? This is the circumcision of that flesh. The circumcision of that flesh, that blood covenant, that flesh covenant, the Most High put on our forefather Abraham and his seed. That's how far back this promise, this contract, this covenant with our Creator we have. When the Most High first established our people. This was the beginning. The beginnings of our empire, our kingdom. This is the Most High's kingdom. This is who the Most High desires to rule over his kingdom. See, the Most High, he raises up the basis of men to rule over kingdoms. But who the Most High wants to raise up to rule in this final kingdom is very particular, very specific. He wants a specific bloodline to rule in this kingdom. And this is why we have to show ourselves approved. This is why we have to get it together as a people. Because the Most High don't just want you to rule in a kingdom. Just like we desire to be like the heathen, right? Our ancestors, a lot of them desire to be like the heathen. So we join the heathen. We latch on to the heathen. We start worshiping their gods and going astray. Right? We're going this way and we're going that way, and we're not sticking to a straight path. The Most High wants a certain bloodline. He wants the bloodline of Abraham, the bloodline of Isaac and Jacob to rule in the Most High's kingdom. Do you know how much responsibility that is? Do you know that says a lot? It says a lot that the Most High is choosing you to rule in his kingdom. So how do we look out here fighting each other? What kind of representatives are we if we out here, we can't get it together, can't get along, trying to put each other down, oppress each other, talking about each other, killing each other. All these things, we're using each other. We don't treat each other right a lot of the time. This is not a good representation of the Most High's image. We are literally representatives of the Most High, of the Creator. And if we are going to be representatives, if we desire to be representatives of the Most High, we have to act like it. We have to get rid of all of those bad habits that we have picked up in captivity. Because that's all it is. Your sins are just bad habits you picked up in your captivity. And it's been passed down generation to generation to generation to generation. Get rid of it. It serves you no purpose. It is no good. Throw it away. Let's try something new and something better this time. Let's move different. Let's try to uplift each other instead of harm each other. Let's actually see each other in a different light. Let's change the way we think about each other, because it starts in our thoughts, right? Instead of thinking when you see someone who might be doing something that you want to do, instead of thinking, well, I want to do that, and so now I'm going to be angry and envious of this person, let's think, well, maybe I can go and learn some things from this person or these people. And I can put myself in a more powerful position and a better equipped position to be a representative of the Most High YAH. Right? Maybe now I can actually make a change. Help to make a change. This is how we should be thinking as a nation of people. But in order to do that, we have to change our mindset. Because it starts in our own minds. They can take everything from you, but they can't take your mind unless you allow it. They can't take your mind away. They can't take away what you know. What you know what you know. And you can only get stronger. You can only get better. And that's what we need as a people. We need people who are stronger, and we need people who are better. So, in verse 4, it reads, "And I will make your seed to multiply as the stars of heaven, and will give unto thy seed all these countries, and in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed. Because that Abraham obeyed my voice and kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes, and my laws." So you see how important it is. If you want to be this blessed by the Creator, then we have to keep the Most High's laws. That's so important. We have to just keep repeating it over and over and over and over until it's ingrained in us. And it's just like, something that we do naturally, right? It's something that we do naturally. We want this to be something that our children practice naturally. And this is why we have to be good examples to them. They can't see us constantly fighting each other. That's not something we want to show our children. If we want these curses to end, if we want this generational cycle of curses to stop, we have to be the ones to change the course. We have to not allow our children to see us, practicing our bad habits. We have to change those bad habits. And you know what they are. You know what your bad habits are. We all know what our bad habits are. We have to change those bad habits. It may be gradual, but you have to make those changes as much as possible. You have to. This is like when you're trying to quit smoking or quit drinking. Some people, they might be able to do it cold turkey. I was one of those people. I could just quit cold turkey smoking. quit cold turkey drinking. But some people, it might take a little while. And so they have to wean themselves off. And gradually, they'll make that change because they put in the effort. And this is what we all have to practice as a people, as a nation. So the Most High chose Abraham because Abraham practiced his laws. Abraham obeyed the Most High Yah. And because of his obedience, the Most High blessed Abraham. The Most High blessed Abraham as a result of obedience, as a result of his righteousness. The Most High has so much patience with us. Don't think just because the Most High blesses us in our wickedness that we won't eventually have to suffer the consequences of those bad habits. They always come back up. Always. And let's be honest, none of us truly knows what it's like to continually be blessed without something popping up and disrupting that blessing. None of us knows what that's truly like, to live in total peace, to not have disruption, to not have to suffer, to not have to go through all of the trials that we go through in this life. None of us can say that we've all had that smooth course. Nobody's had a smooth course. No nation on this earth has had a smooth course. And the only one who can give you a smooth course, because if you look in nature, right, before everything became corrupt, you look at nature and you go back to when nature was first established on this earth. Before we came along and corrupted everything and polluted it. Before violence filled the earth. Nature was very smooth running. It was very natural. How things flowed was very natural. Because that's the way that the Creator intended for things to be on this earth. Very natural to flow. And that's why when you look at the ocean and how it flows, it's a constant flow to things. That's how we're supposed to be established as a people. And as the earth, as people on the earth, we should be just flowing naturally, like the ocean. That's how it should be. Peace, calm, serenity. But instead we have chaos. And you know why we have chaos? Because we are disobedient to the Creator's program, to the laws of nature, to the laws of the Creator. It doesn't get more natural than that. So let's go to Genesis chapter 28. And in Genesis chapter 28, I want to start in verse 10. And it reads, "And Jacob went out from Beersheba and went toward Haran. And he lighted upon a certain place and waited there all night." He stayed there all night because the sun was set. "And he took of the stones of that place and put them for his pillows." Stones for pillows. That's how close to nature we were. Now we got all these comforts. I mean, we got these fluffy beds and mattresses, right? With this memory foam and all these things to keep us comfortable. No, he took stones and put them for his pillow. and lay down in that place to sleep. And these are men who were greatly blessed by the Creator. See, that was comfortable to him. He laid his head upon stones. Were they smooth stones? Perhaps. That's why they're stones and not labeled rocks, But he laid his head upon stones. That was comfortable to him. Can we say that we have that same grit today? That same spirit, that hardness about us, that, man, what's the word I'm trying to think of? Can we say that we have that same spirit? Let me just put it that way. I mean, these men were determined. These men, they trained, they practiced. It didn't matter how hard the course got. They kept going. They kept going. The least of their worries was fighting their brother or their women or fighting anybody else. Their whole focus was on, what can I do to be a better man for the Most High? And that's what our focus should be. All of us. What can I do to be a better human being for the Creator's program? What can I do to serve the earth? Right? What can I do that's going to make the world a better place? What can I do to focus on some positivity? And what can I do to, be less distracted by all of the negativities and all of the distractions that the world has set out for us, because the wicked are ruling earth. So of course it's intentional that distractions are put out for us so that we can be thrown off course and not focus on the things we need to focus on to fix this mess. I don't want to be swayed by somebody else's opinions. I don't want to be swayed by whatever they got going on out there in the world. I want to focus on what the Most High wants me to focus on. That should be our desire. What does YAH want us to focus on? Well, our forefather Jacob took stones to be his pillows, and he laid down in that place to sleep. And he dreamed, and behold, a ladder set up on the earth, and the top of it reached to heaven. And behold, the angels of Elohim ascending and descending on it. And behold, YAH stood above it and said, I am YAH, Elohim of Abraham, thy father, and Elohim of Isaac. The land whereon thou liest, to thee will I give it, and to thy seed. And thy seed shall be as the dust of the earth, and thou shalt spread abroad to the west, and to the east, and to the north, and to the south. And in thee and in thy seed shall all the families of the earth be blessed. So the Most High continues this covenant that he gave to our forefather Abraham and to our forefather Isaac through our forefather Jacob. He continues this covenant. And behold, in verse 15, I am with thee and will keep thee in all places whither thou goest, and will bring thee again into this land. For I will not leave thee until I have done that which I have spoken to thee of. And Jacob awaked out of his sleep, and he said, surely YAH is in this place, and I knew it not. Praise YAH. And he was afraid and said, how dreadful is this place? This is none other but the house of Elohim, and this is the gate of heaven. And Jacob rose up early in the morning and took the stone that he had put for his pillows and set it up for a pillow or a pillar, and poured oil upon the top of it. So he set the stone, because a lot of people don't like to think that we use stones and things in nature. Like a lot of people use these things in witchcraft or whatever, pagan idolatry. We use stones and all of that, but we did not use these stones to give us power or to bring power, because we realize there's no power in those things. Unless the Most High put it in there. And he said, if you go get this stone, there's power in that particular stone. But just because it's a stone or a crystal or anything, there's no power in it just because of that. Just by default. I mean, you have to think of it like a human. Is there some significant power in this human just because they're made in the image of YAH? Absolutely not. Because we have wicked humans and we have righteous humans. Surely a human would hold more power than a stone, right? But they set these up as markers, right? And memorials where they can go back, and this is a place that we have marked because this is an area where the Most High's power revealed itself, where the Most High revealed his power. So it was set up as a marker. Praise the Almighty YAH. That same stone that he used for pillows. So it's very important that we practice the Most High's laws. That is what the Most High wants us to do. He chose these particular men to bless them and establish his covenant with because they were obedient men, very obedient. Do you understand? Without obedience to the Most High's law, we have no blessing. We have no power. And there's nothing that we can do to move forward as a people. Let's go to Exodus 20. Let's go to Exodus chapter 20, because everybody knows about Exodus chapter 20. This is where the 10 Commandments were given to us. And let's see if we have that obedience with us as a whole nation. Do we have the same obedience that these individual righteous men had? Or did we go wayward? Did we become corrupt? Let's go to Exodus 20. I'm going to start at verse 1. It says, and Elohim spake all these words, saying, I am YAH, thy Elohim, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. So the Most High is establishing that he is the one who brought us out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. YAH established the one that did this. YAH already let us know that he's the one that did this. Whether you believe it or not, the Most High already let you know he did this. No one else. Nothing else. And in verse 3 it says, thou shalt have no other gods before me. My goodness. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. This is the first commandment. The first commandment. We just can't seem to get this right. You know, we can't have other gods before the Most High Yah, the one who created us. We put everything, anything, and everything before the actual one who created us. This is why we are in this predicament we're in today. We can't hate the heathen, right? We can't hate the heathen and then turn around and worship their gods. That doesn't make sense. We can't fight with the heathen and then turn around and partake in their ritualistic practice, pagan practices. It doesn't make sense. You hate your enemies, the Gentiles, a lot of them that are your enemies, but then you turn around and worship Christ. You hate a lot of Asians, but then you turn around and you worship Buddhism. You hate a lot of Ishmael, but then you turn around and you become Nation of Islam. You acknowledge the supremacy in their group. You acknowledge their hatred for you and their group, but you take their God and you worship their God. How do we do these things? That goes for any of these nations who hate us. You know they don't like you. You know they don't like you. You know they hate you, but you partake in their witchcraft. You take on their idols. Make it make sense. Make that make sense. Right? How? But then we go on to verse 4. It says, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, no graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. So no graven image of anything, basically. Nothing. Don't make a graven image of anything that you bow down to. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, Yah, thy Elohim, am a jealous Elohim, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. So, yes, the Most High is jealous, and the Most High wants you to understand that. The relationships that we have with a lot of these enemy nations, the heathen nations, and that's not to say that everybody within that nation is an enemy, but they're enemies as a nation against Israel. Right? And in the enemy nations, when you go and you take an enemy, and I mean a true enemy, to be a spouse to you, right? To be a spouse to you. Knowing that this person that you're with hates your people, how can they then turn around and say they love you? You see how this person you chose to be with out of an enemy nation treats your people. And then they turn around and say they love you. That doesn't make sense, does it? It makes no sense. And this is how the Most High is. The Most High is looking at this, and you choose to go with an enemy nation. You see how they treat the Most High Yah. You see how they treat your people. They trying to pull you away from the Most High Yah. And the Most High is like, how could you? Why would you go and be with my enemy, which is your enemy? You laying in bed with the enemy. And too many of us do that too many times. So much so, we become each other's enemy. It divides us as a nation when we go out doing this. It does. Is that to say that someone can't decide they want to be with someone of another nation? Absolutely not. But I guarantee you that other nation can't be an enemy nation that the Most High commanded us not to be with. And that other person in that nation must serve your Elohim. They must serve Yah. They have to give up the witchcraft and the pagan worship and all of that. They have to serve Yah, like Ruth, the Moabite. They have to join unto you. You don't join unto the enemy nation. Why would you do such a thing? That's like committing suicide. Why would you do that? It's not intelligent and it's not wise. So the first thing the Most High tells us to do is to not have other gods before Yah. Right? Not have other gods before Yah. Go to Exodus 32. Hold that. Hold it, Exodus 20. Let's go to Exodus chapter 32. And let's see if we actually obeyed that commandment. Just in the same book. Let's see if we actually obeyed that. Right? In Exodus chapter 32. And verse 1. I'm going to start at verse 1. And it reads, "And when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down out of the mount, the people gathered themselves together unto Aaron and said unto him, Up, make us gods, which shall go before us. For as for this Moses, the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we wot not what is become of him." Now, the first mistake they made was giving the glory to Moses. Moses is not the one who brought you out of the land of Egypt. Yah is. And that's exactly what the Most High told us in Exodus chapter 20, verse 1. "And Elohim spake all these words, saying, I am Yah, your Elohim, which have brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage." So that's the first mistake, is that we give the glory of the Creator to a man. We would rather put the Creator's credit, or give the Creator's credit to a man, when it's not supposed to go to a man. It's supposed to go to the Most High. It's supposed to go to the one who created you. Because remember, we didn't create ourselves. So, verse 2 reads, "And Aaron, Aharon, said unto them, Break off the golden earrings." So here's his mistake. He's partaking in the pagan worship with them. "Which are in the ears of your wives, of your sons, and of your daughters, and bring them unto me. And all the people brake off the golden earrings which were in their ears, and brought them unto Aaron. And he received them at their hand, and fashioned it with the graving tool." There's the next mistake. You're making a graven image. This was the first commandment. Second commandment. Sorry. This was the second commandment. You're making this graven image for the people to bow to. So you created your own God. You created your own creator. Tell me, how can you create the creator when the creator created you? He fashioned it with the graving tool. After he had made it a molten calf, and they said, "These be the gods. These be your gods, O Israel, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt." So you're making your own God. Make that make sense. "And when Aaron saw it, he built an altar before it. And Aaron made proclamation and said, Tomorrow is a feast to Yah." After doing all of this, tomorrow is a feast to Yah. "And they rose up early on the morrow, and offered burnt offerings, and brought peace offerings. And the people sat down to eat and to drink, and rose up to play. And Yah said unto Moses, Go get thee down, for thy people, which thou broughtest out of the land of Egypt, have corrupted themselves. They have turned aside quickly out of the way which I commanded them. They have made them a molten calf, and have worshipped it, and have sacrificed thereunto, and said, These be thy Elohims, or these be thy gods, O Israel, which have brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. And YAH said unto Moses, I have seen this people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked people. Now therefore let me alone, that my wrath may wax hot against them, and that I may consume them, and I will make thee a great nation. So the Most High acknowledges he used Moses, our forefather Moses, to part the sea, to lead our people. He put him in a leadership position. But these people had no faith in the Most High YAH. Because if they did, they wouldn't have broken that first and second commandment. They over here giving all the credit to Moses, and then turn around and built themselves a creator, built themselves a God. We don't know what happened to this man that brought us out of Egypt, so we are going to make ourselves a God. And that's not how it works. We're simple-minded. As humans, we are so simple-minded. We can't be put on this earth and turn around and think, well, we just gonna do things however we feel like doing it. And this is how it is. No. You were put on this earth for a reason. And you were put on this earth to do exactly what you were put on this earth to do. But that's why everything is messed up now. Because we were put on the earth, and then we just started doing our own thing. And now everything is out of order, and there is no balance. No balance. We did not create the earth. Think about that. You did not create the earth. I did not create the earth. So who are we to think that we could just be here and just wing it? I'm just going to wing it. I'm just going to do whatever. I'm going to do whatever I feel like doing because I have these feelings. And this is what I feel like doing. That's foolishness. And it's chaotic. That's not being one with the earth. And it certainly isn't being one with your creator. How can you be one with the earth when everyone's doing their own individual thing? You look at the animals, and I'm talking about in righteousness. In righteousness. I'm not saying people don't do this in wickedness, because they do. They follow the crowd. They follow the wicked. They copy wicked things. But when it comes to righteousness, nobody wants to partake in that. But you look at nature again. The birds, they flock together. Everything flows together in unison. And it's just a beautiful, natural flow. Wings gliding in the air. So beautiful and peaceful. The trees swaying in the wind. All the vegetation growing in the gardens of the earth. Everything works all of it is in sync. All of it has its timing. Yeah, some of the plants in the garden might grow up a little faster than the other ones. It depends on nutrition and the watering and, whether you had a bad seed and all of that, right? But at the end of the day, they all blossom into what? The same thing. Every species, everything that the Most High has set in order, it grows into the same thing. You don't have flowers deciding, if they could get up and move, or better example, let me use animals. You don't have lion prides that flow together, that rock together, that move together. You don't have the lions and the lion pride saying, well, y'all do that over there. Okay. I know y'all said we about to go and take this elephant down, right? But I'm gonna go over here and chill for a bit. And then the other ones decide they about to go do something else, and they twiddling their thumbs. And people, or the lions over on the other side decide, well, instead of taking down the elephant with y'all, I'm gonna go and get this gazelle. I'm gonna go and get this gazelle, right? All of them decide we're gonna work together. We're gonna come up with a plan to take this elephant down, to eat this for dinner tonight together. Right? Everybody works together. Everybody puts in a strategic plan. Everybody's working just like in a sports team, basketball team. You plan out all of the moves. And that's how we have to be as a nation. We have to be a team in righteousness. The reason we can't get it together, we're always the losing team, is because we're flowing individually in wickedness. This is what we decide to do. Instead of for the betterment of our people. We have to come up out of that. We have to come up out of that. No matter what, even if you have people who are Israelites, but they're not practicing the Most High's laws, you just have to let them go and move forward in the Most High's laws. We can't stop moving because somebody else did. Your life can't stop because somebody else's life stops. You understand? You can't stop going down the path you're going because somebody else decided to go in the opposite direction. You have to continue to do what's for you, Israel. All those who want to do right, you have to continue to do what's for you, what's right in the Most High's eyes, in the Most High's sight. That's what we have to do so that we can get things back in order, so we can be balanced, so we can flow together. The Most High was ready in verse 10 of Exodus 32 to just cut all of those Israelites off and make a nation out of our forefather Moses. Why? Because our people were so wicked. So wicked. That the Most High was just willing to just establish a tree and branches from our forefather Moses' seed. But then again, our forefather Moses, as an intercessor, prays for our people, pleads with the Most High not to destroy our people. And so we're spared. And every time we're spared, we fail to acknowledge the Most High's mercy on us as a people. We have so much mercy that the Most High has given to us. But we can't forget the Most High was ready to cut us off completely and start anew with one man and his wife. But he was ready to cut the rest of us off because of our evil deeds. And then it comes to a point where you go to Jeremiah 11. I hope you're still holding Exodus 20. Where you go to Jeremiah 11. And we start at verse 13 in Jeremiah 11. And it reads, "For according to the number of thy cities were thy gods, O Judah, and according to the number of the streets of Jerusalem have you set up altars to that shameful thing, even altars to burn incense unto the idol. Therefore, pray not you for this people, neither lift up a cry or prayer for them, for I will not hear them in the time that they cry unto me for their trouble." So we see that this idolatry is very serious to the Most High, to the point where the Most High is not even hearing prayers for his people no more. He ain't even hearing prayers for those of us out here being wicked anymore. See, he spared us through the intercessors of old, but now the Most High is letting us know, I'm not even going to hear these prayers because y'all continue to do this wickedness. You continue to harm your people. You're worshiping these idols. You're joining these other nations, these heathens, and practicing their paganism and all of these things that we're doing, and we're ruining ourselves. We're ruining ourselves. We're not working in unison as a nation. So the Most High tells us, the Most High ain't even going to hear prayers for these people because we're evildoers. We're wicked. If you don't change from your ways first, if you don't turn from your wickedness first, how do you expect the Most High to hear these prayers? For us as a nation. You think the Most High wants to establish us as a nation of evildoers? That's the reason we were cut off from being a nation in the first place. Because we had a huge responsibility. Remember, we talked about we had a huge responsibility. You go back to Daniel 4:17, where the Most High tells us the Most High raises up the basis of men, and he puts whoever he chooses to rule in the kingdom of men. But when it comes to the righteous kingdom, when it comes to a holy people and a pure kingdom, the Most High specifically chose the descendants of the slave trade, the descendants of the transatlantic slave trade. He specifically chose this bloodline to rule a righteous kingdom on earth and to be a representative of purity and cleanliness. That's a huge responsibility. That's not just any kingdom. So this is why it's so important for us in particular to do the right thing. This is why the other nations laugh at us, because they know who we are. And you think they want us to live righteously? Do you think they want to see us unite in our divine purpose? We got to do better. We got to do better, y'all. So let's go back to Exodus 20, where we left off. And I'm going to continue reading in verse 7. "Thou shalt not take the name of YAH, thy Elohim, in vain. For YAH will not hold him guiltless that takes his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy." All of these laws are for our betterment. All of these laws are to benefit us as a people, to keep us righteous, to keep us pure, to keep us close to the Creator, to have a close relationship with the Creator. Because remember, our foreparents, our righteous foreparents, had the closest relationship with the Creator. And you go back, when you read about in Genesis 9, where the Most High established a covenant with all the nations on the earth, because the Most High created all nations. Where the Most High created, he established a covenant with all the nations, and he gave our foreparents the law not to murder. That's before any other nation. No, Egypt didn't. The kingdom of Egypt did not exist at that time, and their laws, "Thou shalt not murder," came all the way back. It goes all the way back to Genesis 9. And the Most High lets you know why "thou shalt not murder." Because again, we are the image of the Creator, and that's important. To want to destroy the image of the Creator is an evil thing. So that's before any of these other empires were established. The Most High already lets you know, don't be going around destroying the image of the Creator. And don't be going around making graven images and bowing down to them, like the other nations, like the heathens do. So remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the 7th day is the Sabbath of YAH thy Elohim. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. These are our laws. When people step into our land and our country that the Most High established for our people before we were taken away on slave ships, these were the laws people had to go by coming into our nation, because we have our own laws. We have our own government. And we should desire our laws before we ever desire the laws of a heathen nation. For in 6 days, verse 11, YAH made heaven and earth, the sea and all that in them is, and rested the 7th day. Wherefore YAH blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which YAH thy Elohim giveth you. You know these are our laws, because when you read in Deuteronomy 28, where the heathen showed no pity, no mercy on the young or the old, they did not honor this law. They did not practice this law. They did not adhere to this law, to honor thy father and thy mother, to honor thy. They don't adhere to this. These are our laws. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not murder. Again, the Most High brings that up. Thou shalt not murder. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. And everything in these laws today, we ask ourselves, are we doing this, or are we copying the heathen and doing the exact opposite of all of our laws? These are the laws the Most High gave to our people. to be righteous, to be holy with each other. You understand? This is how the Most High wanted us to deal with each other in our home, in our land. Verse 18. And all the people saw the thunderings and the lightnings and the noise of the trumpet and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they removed and stood afar off. So something very powerful came down right after these laws had been established. There was a force in the heavens. This is an example of just how divine these laws are. They're divine laws. They come from the heavens. And they said unto Moses, Speak thou with us, and we will hear. But let not Elohim speak with us, lest we die. So the people were sore afraid, as you should be. Fear Yah and keep the commandments, right? And that's just respect, because you acknowledge that the one who created you is bigger than you. The one who created us is bigger than us all. The one who created us is wiser than us all. And that's just that respect. Just like you have that respect for your mother and father, you have that respect for the one who created your life. The one who created the earth. Because you acknowledge nobody, no man on this earth created the earth. You acknowledge that. That's natural, right? Verse 20. And Moses said unto the people, Fear not, for Elohim is come to prove you, and that his fear may be before your faces, that you sin not. And the people stood afar off. And Moses drew near unto the thick darkness where Elohim was. And Yah said unto Moses, Thus thou shalt say unto the children of Israel, Ye have seen that I have talked with you from heaven. You shall not make with me idols of silver, neither shall you make unto you gods of gold. But we're attracted to these light, shiny things. We're attracted to these idols that we continue to make, these graven images, these molten images. We're attracted to it. We believe it brings us power. We put these idols above the one who created us, even though the idol itself had to be created by the hands of man. An altar, verse 24, of earth thou shalt make unto me, and shall sacrifice thereon thy burnt offerings, and thy peace offerings, thy sheep, and thine oxen. In all places where I record my name, I will come unto thee, and I will bless thee. This is where we have our barbecue. Okay? This is where we have our barbecue. Verse 25. And if thou wilt make me an altar of stone, thou shalt not build it of hewn stone. For if thou lift up thy tool upon it, thou hast polluted it. Neither shalt thou go up by steps, and nakedness be not discovered thereon. Most High instructions. And it's up to us to follow these instructions. And we're going to see who's going to follow these instructions, who's not going to follow these instructions. The Most High tells us specifically he wants stones that are not hewn. He wants things straight out of nature, straight from what he created. Because it's perfect the way the Most High created, unless he tells you otherwise. Follow these instructions. Be obedient to the Most High. Do the right thing when it comes to your brethren. you know? Then you go on to Exodus 21 through 23, and the Most High's given us laws for even when we enter into the land. Laws that we take with us. These are laws that we can be practicing right now. We can practice all of Exodus 20 right now. We can practice the 10 Commandments right now. The 10 Commandments. There are some festivities that we have to practice where the Most High places His name. But when we go back out in this wilderness, which we should be looking forward to, when we go back out in this wilderness, and we have to go with a right spirit, we have to go with a humble spirit, a righteous heart, with righteous thoughts, right? We have to be right when we go back out in this wilderness, y'all. We have to practice a lot of these things right now in captivity. I don't care what anybody tells you. We can't practice this in captivity. We can't do this. And yes, you can. You can definitely practice the laws of the Most High in captivity. If you can't practice them in captivity, then where do you practice them? Because when you go back in the wilderness, I can tell you this right now, the rebels will be purged. The rebels will be purged. So if you can practice them in the wilderness, you can practice them right now. When do you want to practice them? When do you want to start practicing? Stop leading people astray. If you don't want to practice the laws, that's on you. But don't try to pull other people into your dysfunction, because that's what it is. And if other people are foolish enough to fall into your dysfunction, they didn't desire the ways of the Most High to begin with. And maybe that's the Most High's way of showing us who's who. So this is another reason we can't even fight about it. We can't even fight about it because the Most High is going to take care of all of it. You understand? All of it. Let's go to Exodus chapter 24. And you'll see all through Exodus 24. In verse 1, let me start there. It says, "And he said unto Moses, Come up unto YAH, thou and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel, and worship you afar off." So the Most High is calling not just our forefather Moses up, but the Most High is calling witnesses besides Moses. Witnesses. Aaron, Nadab, and Abihu, and 70 elders of Israel. And Moses, in verse 2, alone shall come near YAH, but they shall not come near. Neither shall the people go up with him, because he just wants to have this direct communication with Moses. And Moses came and told the people all the words of YAH, and all the judgments, and all the people answered with one voice, and said all the words which YAH had said, we will do. Will we do? So they always agree. Every single time our people agree to give our hearts to the Most High. We agree. I'll do this, Most High YAH. I will do this. I will do, yes, everything you said I will do. But will we? Will we show that in our actions, or are we just talking? Right? In verse 4, and Moses wrote all the words of YAH, and rose up early in the morning, and builded an altar under the hill, and 12 pillars according to the 12 tribes of Israel. And he sent young men of the children of Israel, which offered burnt offerings of oxen unto YAH. And Moses took half of the blood, and put it in basins, and half of the blood he sprinkled on the altar. And he took the book of the covenant and read in the audience of the people. And they said, all that YAH has said will we do and be obedient. They said they would be obedient, y'all. They said they would do everything the Most High told them to do. Our foreparents have always been this way. We have people, so you can't just listen to people's talk. You have to look at the action. You have to watch the action. Do their actions follow through with their words? Will they do everything the Most High says to do, or will they run and then serve an idol after saying they love the Most High Yah? Will they say they're going to be obedient to the Most High, the Creator, and run off and do something wicked and sin, a presumptuous sin? Go off and do wickedly. Right after you say, okay, I'm going to obey, I'm going to do what you say. Is this the MO of us, of our people? Yes, it is. We will say what we have to say. But at the end of the day, we're going to do what we want to do. The Creator wants us to do. And the Most High knows us better than we know ourselves. Because this is how we move. And this is how we've been moving as a nation. They said, all that the Creator has said will we do and be obedient. And Moses took the blood and sprinkled it on the people and said, behold the blood of the covenant, which YAH has made with you concerning all these words. So again, now we have a blood covenant. So not only do we have the covenant with the seed through the flesh of our forefather Abraham, because the Most High is blessing the seed generation and generation and generation, keeping this covenant with the seed generation and generation. But the Most High has now made a blood covenant with our people. Right? So we're entering into all these covenants that we have no intention of being loyal to. But let us enter into a covenant with the heathen. Let us enter into a covenant with the enemy of our people. Oh, we're going to be sure to uphold that contract. Absolutely. Let us make a covenant with the devil. Oh, we definitely upholding that. You see the corruption and the mindset, the corrupt mindset of our people. It's historical. So verse 9, then went up Moses and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel. And they saw Elohim of Israel. So they saw Elohim of Israel. These are witnesses. And there was under his feet, as it were a paved work of a sapphire stone, and as it were the body of heaven in his clearness. So they're seeing all this divinity, this divineness, right? This heavenly appearance they've witnessed. So you can't say, oh, well, Moses, he's the only one. He was writing the Torah. He's the one that wrote the Torah. So, and the Most High told you that he used the hand of a man to write the Torah. He told you that. Use the hand of a man. You can't say, oh, well, Moses, because sometimes I hear, well, Moses, he was going off and Moses was the only one that the Most High appeared to. How can we say that, anybody else witnessed this and that it didn't just come from Moses? Because it's telling you right here, there's witnesses in all of this. The Most High has witnesses. Our people have witnessed the appearance of the Creator. Our people as a whole, we have witnessed the appearance. We've witnessed the thunderings and the lightnings. We've witnessed the sapphire stone, the clearness of the body of heaven. We witnessed these things. So it wasn't just Moses. It wasn't just Moses. But he had a personal relationship with Moses. Why did the Most High have a personal relationship with Moses more so than the other Israelites? Because Moses listened. Moses listened. We do not listen. To this day, we don't listen. And then we turn around and say, well, I don't know what to do. Our people are messed up. Everything's messed up. We're never going to come together. And this, that, and the third. And it's like, come on now. The Most High is giving you the playbook. He's giving you everything you need. We have to work in unity. We have to be on one accord with each other. As a whole nation, we have to be in agreement, man, in order for it to work. For all of us. Now, of course, it's going to work whether we want it to or not, because the Most High is going to set up the kingdom without any of our help. You understand? The Most High don't need none of our help. That's why the Most High is destroying kingdoms today. Because the Most High established these kingdoms and the Most High brings them down. So the Most High does not need our help to establish the Most High's kingdom, the Creator's kingdom. Surely the Most High could do this with one man and one woman. Like he promised he didn't promise, but like he said he was going to do with our forefather Moses. And Moses intervened. And he said, no. Moses did not want us to die. Moses did not want us to be cut off. But the Most High was ready, just like in the days of the flood, to just cut us off for our disobedience. Well, now you see the Most High, he's not even listening to the prayers. When you pray for this wickedness, the Most High is not hearing the prayers, because it's up to us as individuals to want to do the right thing. It's up to us as individuals to want to treat our brothers and sisters the right way. Instead of dealing treacherously with one another, we have to have the desire inside of us to do right by one another. That has to be a desire within us. And the Creator sees your heart because the Creator made you. So he knows, the Most High knows if you're capable or if you're even willing to do the right thing. And that's why you're left here fending for yourself. That's why we're fending for ourselves down here on this earth. We're doing this to ourselves. So in verse 11, it says, and upon the nobles of the children of Israel, he laid not his hand. Also, they saw Elohim and did drink, eat and drink. And YAH said unto Moses, come up to me into the mount and be there. And I will give thee tables of stone and a law, and commandments which I have written, that thou mayest teach them. And Moses rose up, and his minister Joshua, and Moses went up into the mount of Elohim. And he said unto the elders, stay you here for us, until we come again unto you. And behold, Aaron and Hur are with you. If any man have any matters to do, let him come up unto them. And Moses went up into the mount, and a cloud covered the mount. So the people are witnessing this. The cloud covered the mount. And the glory of YAH abode upon Mount Sinai, and the cloud covered it 6 days. And the seventh day he called unto Moses out of the midst of the cloud. And the sight of the glory of Yah was like devouring fire on the top of the mount, in the eyes of the children of Israel. In the eyes of the children of Israel. Let me repeat that. In the eyes of the children of Israel. What does that mean? That means we as a nation were witnesses to these divine events. That's how special we are as a people. We were witnesses to these divine events that occurred. And guess what? When it's all said and done, everyone on earth will be a witness. Everyone living on earth will be a witness to the divine events to come. And the sight of the glory of Yah in verse 17 was like devouring fire on the top of the mount in the eyes of the children of Israel. And Moses went into the midst of the cloud and gat him up into the mount. And Moses was in the mount 40 days and 40 nights. 40 days and 40 nights. He wasn't worried about what his wife was going to cook for him, or if she could cook, or any of that. He wasn't worried about what his brother got that he don't got, right? He wasn't worried about the irrelevant things that we worry about today. He was in the mount 40 days and 40 nights in righteousness, in holiness. His focus and his meditation was divine. And so when I look at these events that took place in our history with our people, and I look at our people today, I see something totally foreign. I see something totally different. I see something alien, something degenerate. Because our priorities are in the wrong place. Our ancestors, our ancient ancestors' priorities were not on, and even some of our most recent ancestors. When you talk about Harriet Tubman, Nat Turner, Marcus Garvey, even Malcolm X, they were used by the Most High. They were used by the Creator. And it's always been this way with our people. Always. Something divine uses our people. Always. And that's a sign from the Creator. The Most High is trying to show us something. Of all the things that we could be focused on this planet, our focus should be on our divinity, our righteousness, living right, and doing the right thing. Right? We focused on the covenant that we had with Yah. That's what we focused on. We focused on the covenant that we had with our Creator. That was our main priority, to make sure that we were upholding the Most High's laws in the earth, that we were upholding righteous ways. In Isaiah 58, this will be the last one, then we're going to close it up, because I see I've been on here for a minute. My goodness. So, in Isaiah 58, and let's start at verse 3. It says, "Wherefore have we fasted, say they, and thou seest not? Wherefore have we afflicted our soul, and thou takest no knowledge? Behold, in the day of your fast you find pleasure, and exact all your labors. Behold, you fast for strife and debate, and to smite with the fist of wickedness. You shall not fast as you do this day, to make your voice to be heard on high." Right? "It is such a fast that I have chosen, a day for a man to afflict his soul. Is it to bow down his head as a bulrush, and to spread sackcloth and ashes under him? Wilt thou call this a fast and an acceptable day to YAH? Is not this the fast that I have chosen, to loose the bands of wickedness, to undo the heavy burdens, and to let the oppressed go free? And that you break every yoke? Is it not to deal thy bread to the hungry, and that thou bring the poor that are cast out to thy house? When thou seest the naked, that thou cover him, and that thou hide not thyself from thine own flesh." This is the fast the Most High desires from us. We're supposed to be doing everything in our power to remain humble and help those who need help, including our families. Right? Remaining humble and helping each other, being of service to each other. This is the only way to get ahead as a nation. We know that, but man, isn't it easier said than done? And that's because we all have our own motives, ulterior motives, our own agendas. Some of us have, these plots. We plot on one another. And it's like, it's so hard for some of us to come out of our evil ways, our bad habits, and to just do the right thing. Well, my goodness. How can we call ourselves holy or righteous when all we do is fight and gossip about each other? Helping the poor doesn't cover your sins if you haven't turned from your sins. A wicked man can feed a hungry person and still be wicked afterward. No, Yah wants to see us humble and sincerely turn from our evil ways, fighting our people and gossiping, tale-bearing, being false witnesses. That's not the way of the meek or humble. Moses was the meekest man on earth, and do you think he partook or participated in such things? No, he was too busy serving Yah and praying for his people. To be oppressive, to be trying to be, to try to oppress and misuse his people. Right? We have to be so caught up in our humbleness. We have to be so caught up in our mission for the Creator. We have to be so caught up in our meditation for the Creator, and so caught up in keeping this covenant that we have for the Creator, that we don't have time to practice our bad habits, because we filled our lives with righteous deeds. We got to think about these things, especially since we're going back into the wilderness, according to Ezekiel 20, right? We're going back into the wilderness. So now is really the time to let all those bad habits go and practice doing the right thing. A part of a righteous diet and a part of practicing having righteous relationships with one another, with your people, with your elders, with your spouses, with your brothers and sisters, right? And even with other nations. All of that is depending upon whether or not you decide to have a righteous and humble heart with the Most High. Right? We have to consider these things. That's all I have for tonight. I hope everyone is practicing righteousness and continues to practice righteousness. I love you all. I will see you on another live, Yah willing, soon. And shalom.
Another day is a blessing, so I thank y'all for waking up my soul. Another day I could rest in, so I praise y'all for walking on these 10 toes. Another day is a blessing, so I thank y'all for waking up my soul. Another day I could rest in, so I praise the mighty YAH. It's another day in the life. Please forgive me, y'all, for not thanking you right. I'm trying to make it the best way that I can. For me, that's under y'all's hand. It's a heavy load to carry. I'm just mere man, but I can't trip on the unknown. These is Yahweh's plans. Can't listen to Yahweh fans. Spiritual haters are life flops. Spending hours swiping TikTok, chasing this and chasing that. Got enough people chasing me, I'm quite famous, no cap. The only thing they wanna lay me in graves. That's why I gotta behave. Ain't trying to return to them days when my brothers turn to enemies. People killing friends of me. Gun smoke dependency. Cutthroat mentality. Streets is a balance beam. Always tipping fallacy. So I'm calling on my Elohim. Deliver us from this horror scene where leaders all become the fiend. Reality become a dream. Another day is a blessing. So I thank y'all for waking up my soul. Another day I could rest in. So I praise y'all for walking on these 10 toes. Another day is a blessing. So I thank y'all for waking up my soul. Another day I could rest in. So I praise the mighty YAH. Tell the truth, I ain't wanna make it. Another day, more heartache and bills and more hate. Strife and murmurs and rumors. This is bump on my head, a tumor. Dark humor, arguing over light night in the lunar evictions, credit restrictions, 400 plus years affliction, food addiction, and losing my love, keeping my head above what it is and what it was. Life been killing my buzz, but he wake me every day, so I gotta give it up. God's king, he control all these things. This pain is humbling, insane stomach rumblings. How I'm fat with praise, YAH ate me one today. My Philly fam stay. Too, Shot-town rule, they treat the poor like animals. Once I seen them pour, my complaints just annoyed me. Y'all corrected me, praise Yahweh for all I see. Another day is a blessing, so I thank y'all for waking up my soul. Another day I could rest in, so I praise y'all for walking on these 10 toes. Another day is a blessing, so I thank y'all for waking up my soul. Another day I could rest in, so I praise the mighty